extra today. Gonna pop up a couple of these pieces in. Got some water. And we'll just enjoying that first taste. So just doing a little bit of a gum ramble. It is currently nearly 1 AM. I'm up late. Just thought I'd do it, I guess. Yeah, I have a day off tomorrow, so I thought I'd just do a quick little rambly to say hello, make a bit of content, just chat, I guess, chew some gum, sugar free should I add, so yeah, I've been playing Helldivers 2 before this video, which was fun. Yep. So I don't really have anything planned out as to what I was gonna talk about in this video specifically. I guess I just figured let's bring the mic a little closer. I figured that we would just have a little chat. I've not really thought about anything in particular. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. In this case I just wanted to talk, I guess. Just felt the urge to make a bit, you know. It's a bit more of a chill one. I'm pretty tired, as you can imagine it is 1 AM. But yeah. Decided to take the day off work tomorrow. Just wanted a nice Friday night, I guess, without really worrying. I didn't really do much, to be honest. I like 2 drinks. I had a bottle of Singer Lager, and I can't remember what the other one was. We went to a pub briefly, but I've got a little bit of a story, I guess. That kind of connects these dots, but yeah, we went to a pub briefly, and I got some, I don't really know what the brand was, beginning with a C. It sounded like Czech, something like that, but it wasn't that. Anyway, it was a nice lager. Yeah, so we went to a pub. So I've had a couple of nice little drinks on a Friday night. Not really much. I'm not like, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't really think of one. Not really an accurate one. The first word that comes to mind is hazed, but that is not the right kind of substance to use that word for. Wavy, I guess, maybe. Tipsy, perhaps. I'm not really feeling that. I'm just very, very tired. My body clock keeps getting me up at like 7 AM or 8 AM, which I know for most people is pretty late, but I work late into the evenings, so I have a weird time, sort of like timetable. So, I don't often get to sleep in, and I don't often go to sleep until late, or finish working until late, so 8 AM for me is like getting up earlier in the day. Anyway, my body clock keeps waking me up at that time, even on days off, and I'm sure that's a very common sort of scenario. On the one hand, I'm pretty happy with it because I feel like I'm not wasting like the day sleeping. Like I'll wake up and go, oh shit, like it's probably 10 o'clock by now. doesn't mean like doing work or cleaning. Like I obviously do that stuff, but sometimes it means just going, I want like 2-3 hours to myself, 2-3 hours to play a game, something like that, to play for leisure. And the more time I am awake, the more time I have to use. So yeah, anyway, so that's one of the reasons I'm kind of tired, because I've just been waking up early and going to bed late. Anyway, today was a bit of a special day. So Katie is basically like, how do I describe this? So today she was asking 2 of her friends to be the maids of honour for our wedding, and she had this like sort of plan. So she's made these sort of like boxes. She's doing the same for bridesmaids as well, but she's making these boxes for, or she made them for the maids of honour, and basically she put like a photo of them both in there. Felt like she has 2 of them, so she made like a little Polaroid photo of both of them for each box, with each person. A few like fun little, I guess like, what's the one I'm looking for, like little products, a champagne glass with Maid of Honour written on it, and a Maid of Honour like planner. That was really cool. So lots of stuff, and she's got this sort of like what is the, I can't remember the specific colour. I think it's like sage green is what the colour is. Theme going on for bridesmaids and stuff. So I don't know if that's going to stick for the wedding, but it certainly was. I think she's going through a very sage green phase right now, because it's very fey and fairy. Anyway, so that was our plan today. But yeah, we went out to pick up some extra stuff from the town today. Get some fun things to add into the box, etc. And then when we got back, she decided she wanted to ask them both today. Now, the 2 people that are bridesmaids don't really know each other. I mean, they know each other, but they're not like friends. And so she had to try and get them both over, because in her mind she didn't want to tell them separately, because she didn't want to give someone the box, be like, will you be my maid of honour? And the other person be like, yes, yes, yes. And then she goes, oh, and by the way, there is another one. Rather than doing that, she wanted to do them together at the same time, so they both know. It's very straightforward. Anyway, she came up with this ridiculously convoluted plan. It was kind of funny. Basically, she had to ask them both to come over at the same time, but they couldn't know that the other person was coming over, otherwise it's a bit sus, because they don't know each other. So if you're asking 2 people who are very close friends of yours to come over, but them 2 people aren't friends, and they never hang out, you're gonna go, something's up here. So she asked her friend to come over, friend number 1 to come over, and she comes over all the time, so it's not really that deep. However, friend number 1 was like, oh, I'm gonna come over, but like it's just a lazy day today, I'm kind of like in joggers and etc. And Katie was like, you might want to dress up nice. And that's not because she's like controlling what she wears, by the way. That's because friend number 1 would absolutely hate it if she got asked when she looked like she didn't care. I guess like just loungewear, especially because they were going to take photos. And Katie just knew she's going to hate it if she doesn't like feel confident and look good in her nice anyway. So she was like, oh yeah, I guess we might be going out or something like that. And then I had to come up with this whole plan, basically saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna go out for some drinks or something on the Friday night, and that will be like us like going, that'll be a reason to dress up. So she kind of like eventually agreed, like she would just take yes or an answer. She had to know all the details. So Katie was having to like make up this whole story. Anyway, that was only half the plan because the other person had to come. Friend number two, she'd asked like, oh, can you come over for a little while? I just want to see you. And friend number two was like, okay, she'll come over with her partner. And of course it's a little bit sus. She said later on that she was like, oh, that's interesting, sounds like it might be important or something, but didn't really expect. Anyway, so friend number one and friend number two are coming over. Friend number one arrives first, and neither of them know that the other person is coming. And so Katie is like trying to look at me, being like, I don't know how to say it, I don't know how to like ease into it, that this other person is coming, without it being like obvious or bait. So I said to her, okay, do you know what? Leave it to me. Like I'll come in and be like, because she asked, basically, Katie, as part of it, and basically said like they'll go to the pub, but also to not make it not quite so bait, she asked me if I wanted to go, and I obviously said yeah. And then my job then at that point was to say, oh wait, isn't friend number two coming round to see the flat today? And that would create a scenario where it would be like, oh shit. So I said it in front of friend number one, and Katie was like, oh my god, yes it is. I'll message her now and like find out what's going on. And we created this whole scenario where friend number one believed that there'd been a mix-up, and now they were both coming over at the same time. She was none the wiser apparently. So we sorted it out. So we were going to go for a drink at the bar. So we went for a drink to the pub first, and then on the way back, about 40 minutes later, we met up with friend number two who had arrived with her partner. And that's when they came in. We went up to the flat. We came in, and before there could be any too many questions, that's when I was already filming, and Katie came out with like the boxes, handed it to them. Her friend number two was crying because she knew what was going on, but didn't expect to be Maid of Honour. She thought she was going to be a bridesmaid. But yeah, was Maid of Honour. It was very cute, very nice, and in the end they were glad that friend number one was glad that they, dressed up. And that's when we explained everything, that actually there never was a mix-up, there was no like accidental double booking. We knew they were both coming over, but we had to make it look like it wasn't going to be suspicious, that they were both, these two people that never really saw each other were invited over at the same time. It would make no sense, and it would just be so sus, and Katie wanted it to be a surprise. When they opened it afterwards, when we were talking, neither of them knew what was going on. They had no idea that it was coming, so it was a good surprise. Which is fun, but now that leaves me with a situation where I am still trying to figure out what I'm doing about my groomsmen and best men. I've got myself a list, but it's hard. It is hard. The decisions are difficult. It can be a lot of pressure to put on some people, and I want to do it. I think I've talked about what I know. I don't know why I think I know, because I recall making a video where sit down and think, because in my head I'm like, I don't want to make any decisions, and then it turns out like in a year, oh shit, we're friends again, and I've already chosen those people, and it's impossible to change at that point. It's difficult, you know. I don't really know what to do about it. Katie's found it very easy, I think, to go and like pick out the people that she wants, but for me, I'm finding it really, really difficult. Really difficult. And that's not because I don't have people that I don't want to ask. But again, it's a lot of responsibility. Some people might not want that responsibility, but want to be involved. Yeah, and it's not that I'm worried. I don't want the people that I want to ask. It's more that I feel sad that I can't ask other people, and it's difficult. I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. I need to figure it out for our engagement party, which is already like beginning to stages of being planned. You know, we're sending out the invites now, and yeah, I'm trying to get myself in a position where I know the people that are going to be either best men or groomsmen. I'm going to know before the engagement party, because I want them to be there and have like a little glass that says groomsman or best man or something on there, and I want them to be able to help, you know. It's difficult because there are people that I would ask that I think just won't be good at planning, if I'm honest. If I'm brutally honest, I think there are some people that just won't have the time, or just aren't like very like plan centric, if that makes sense. There are some people that I can imagine would be super useful, super helpful, super into the planning, but also not want to maybe not want to because it's a lot of pressure. One of them is my friend who is away on a cruise. You know, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I would have wanted him to be involved way more in the planning and setting up and helping. But I mean, it's going to be impossible. I don't even know how long he'll be away. In fact, in all likelihood, there's a chance he may not even be able to make a wedding, if I'm honest. Depends on when it's planned and when he's not working anymore. I don't know, he might not be working on his cruise anymore, but if he is, there's a good chance he won't even be able to make it to the wedding, so who knows, eh? At that point, you can't even be a groomsman, and that just kind of knocks me down. I just don't want to half-ass it, you know. It's like one of the most important things I'll ever do in my life. We can't just half-ass it. And it will suck if the people that I want there aren't there. But I don't know. I welcome any advice. If any of you are listening are married, I welcome advice on this. But yeah, that's a fun story for the day. Hope you enjoyed that. I don't have a whole bunch of fun stories. That I said I don't, by the way. I don't have a lot of fun stories. I wish I did. Maybe I do. Who knows? I'm trying to rack my brain. Maybe you want to hear some stories. If you do, leave a comment and let me know. Ask me what kind of stories you want to hear. I'll see if I can find any, like, I don't sac open. That was an interesting one. There's not really much to that story, but I don't know, maybe I do have interesting stories, I just never tell them. Anyway, thank you very much for listening in. I'm not sure how long this video will be, but I appreciate you sticking around listening in. If you enjoyed, please consider liking the video. It really helps. If you're not subscribed, you're still listening. You probably should be. You're going to enjoy the rest of the content. And oh yeah, you should go and check out some of the videos appearing on the side of the screen, because they're all pretty cool as well.